So again, is it game over for the climate? I'm not specifically out to create an air of doom and gloom. My mission in life is to wake people up, because apparently, at least in my country, the United States, there's still a whole lot of people who need waking up.
I'm supposed to be retired. I'm not.
Yeah. How's that retirement going anyway? You're pretty busy. I have never seen him. You're kind of like the whirling dervish right now, you know? The Tasmanian devil. I mean, I see it. I watch you, and you're like, and then they go, and I'm like, well, he's going.
Well, you nailed me, because one of my spiritual influences is that I'm a Sufi, and the once a month Sufi dancing here where I live is this Saturday night, so I'm going to miss it because I'm going to be off again tomorrow evening. But I'm a Sufi, amongst other things. I'm an article written about me years ago called me a man of all faiths.
So the question again, is it game over for the climate?
And may people feel that they can do something about it.
Yeah.
Because one of the big problems is when people wake up to this, they feel helpless. Like, I'm so small, what am I going to do? The COP is the Conference of Parties. And I'm not sure if you're aware, you probably are, that there are COPs for various UN conventions. There's the Conference of Parties on Biodiversity. There's the Conference of Parties that agreed on the Montreal Protocols, you know. So the COP is the acronym for Conference of Parties, and the parties are the nation states that are part of the United Nations. Climate Matters programs that I do, and for those of your listeners who don't know, and I encourage them to go to climatematters.tv, and it actually forwards to my YouTube channel. I decided, instead of having a separate website where all that's on it is my YouTube, so I'll just send everybody to my YouTube channel and let YouTube organize it, you know, and count views and give me statistics and whatnot.
I did find that out today. I was doing just a little bit of preliminary research to sort of, you know, gear up and find out what was going on with you. And it was like, whatever I was pushing was always going to like, how do I keep ending up here?
I decided it was, because I'm really kind of a sole proprietor. And proprietor is, again, it's used usually in terms of business, but my propriété is my propriety. My property, my propriety is about ecology, is trying to fix the ecosystem as much as I can. And so I'm a sole proprietor.
This is a profound time. I mean, you know, we're all just kind of making it up as we go along. You're making up your thing. I'm making up my thing. We're both engaged in being climate information activists and trying to educate people about whatever, you know, whatever it is that we're all going through, you know. I mean, it brings up a lot of stuff. This is a profound time on planet Earth.
I want to knit a little bit more onto what you just said, because yeah, you're doing your thing and I'm doing my thing, but my spirituality says that you and I are the same being. We're the same consciousness. We're just the same consciousness looking out through two different sets of eyes, same as all people in the world. Human beings are limited by the fact that we have egos that are trained to limit us, to associate us with our bodies and our thoughts and our emotions, when in fact, if we thought of us as the commonality, as all of us, and you are me and your welfare is my welfare, we wouldn't be in this fix.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, you hit on it in our last conversation as well. The problem is one of sickness. The problem is one of fear. The problem is one of separation and a misunderstanding of our nature. And I also feel the same way. You and I come of the same flame. If you go down deep enough between the two of us, we are the same. We are united. We are there.
A friend died. Stuart Scott. I'm sorry to give the news.
Really?
It's been in the chat. He lost his battle.
Oh.
R.I.P. Stuart Scott. We really have a lot to owe you. Are you okay?
When I was with Extinction Radio, And we had some very, very moving um, interviews. You know, he was really kind of like a fellow traveler. I felt right, a big camaraderie with Stuart Scott. And he was driven and he was a deep and spiritual man. And, you know, rest in peace, Stuart Scott. He's just was a blessing to humanity and tried very, very hard, you know, to
He
make a
was.
difference.
He was totally an inspiration to me. And Antonio, do you have anything you'd like to say? You okay?
Um, well, that is very, very sad news. I first met Stuart Scott back in 2017, and it started with his I think it was just climate.tv was his program, and I reached out to him, and we had almost a 3 hour conversation over the phone, um, about the economics and science and everything. And it was actually really unbelievable. I didn't think that, anyone like that would even give me the time of day, really. And he ended up, coming to my school, and we tried to put
Mm.
on a climate awareness program where I'm sure a lot of the stuff that he's went over with Jennifer, he was trying to present to my school, because we were so called the sustainability school. And ultimately, it was really sad because Stuart Scott was somewhat blacklisted by the school. Um, Indirectly, he was divested from and lost sponsorships. And that was mainly because of me,
Wow.
um, because the year before I was participating in activism against Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo had collaborated their chief economist along with our business school and economics department, um, to go after my reputation. And unfortunately, at the time, I was trying to build this conference with Stuart at the school, and unfortunately, he was kind of drug into some of the dirty politics.
That's a
Um,
shame.
but I always admired him for his passion, um, his fight. And he understood that this was a fight, and his spirituality, which ultimately was guiding him through this fight. So it is very, 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 very sad, um, to learn of this.
Yeah. Well, we just saw some of the last pieces he did with Noam Chomsky.
And you know what the thing is, he worked up until the very end.
The
He
very
was
end.
continuing to put stuff out on his new channel after he gave scientists warning
Facing
to
future. Allison.
facing future.
Yeah,
Yeah, gave
and
it to Allison. But he worked, I mean, he wasn't feeling well. He was very emaciated. You could tell he wasn't strong. And yet he was driven by something greater than himself. And he was driven by love. And he was driven by his vision and understanding of
absolutely.
the catastrophe that we are in right now. And he was very much about, you know, truth in this room only. And he was always involved with the COP talks, and he had his climate TV that he did there at the COP talks. And
Absolutely.
very driven spiritual man with a vision higher than himself. He was very close to Peter Wadhams as well.
Well, that's a big void. There's going to be some big shoes to fill, if they can even
Yeah.
be filled at all, because Stewart was one in a million and made me feel very welcome and actually very cared for too. So